So in MyPad World for the iPad, we've created the interface objects. We've also created the outlets and their accessor methods in the code. Now we need to connect these objects in the nib file to the code using Interface Builder. That way, when the nib file is loaded, the nib loading code creates these connections automatically. Now here we are back at the MyPad World app, and we're in the Interface Builder looking at settingsviewcontroller.xib. And if we click on View and scroll our screen, we can see the interface objects. Now, you may have opened up with a dock that looks like this, and you'd be able to see it like that. We want to open the dock by clicking the disclosure triangle here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is connect the Done button. So we select the Done button here, and it selects it also in the view. And then we click the Connections button up here for the Connections Inspector. Of course, we could either do that, or we could have done Show Utilities Connections Inspector. Now at the bottom of the Events section here, the Sent Events section, and in case that's not open, you can click here to open it. The disclosure triangle next to the word Sent Events. What we see is a touch up inside. Now the touch up inside event occurs when the user touches a button and then lifts his finger. So it's a touch up inside the button. We click here because we're going to make a connection with the touch up inside event. And we're going to drag that to the file's owner, and two methods appear. The file's owner, of course, is settingsviewcontroller. And these two methods we already put in there, done and speed changed. In this case, we want done, so we select done. Well, that done button is now connected to the code. Now, if you recall, if you click file's owner and select the identity, you can see that settingsviewcontroller is indeed the owner. And these methods are in that file, the settingsviewcontroller.m implementation file. So let's go back to the Connections Inspector, and let's click, this time, Horizontal Slider. Well, we want to connect the horizontal slider to our code. And what we want to do here is drag a new referencing outlet. So here we have the new referencing outlet here. We click here, and we want to drag this to make a connection to the file's owner up here. Two methods appear, slider and view, and what we want is the slider method. We click that, and we have now connected the horizontal slider to the slider method. Now, because we also want to capture the speed setting when the user slides the slider, and then immediately use that new setting with the view controller, there's another connection we want to make. We want to scroll down to the bottom of the Events section here, and look at the Value Changed event. It's nice that we have such an easy way to do this, that if the value changes, we can connect that. And we can drag that to file's owner. And if we do that, we see that the Speed Changed method appears. So we can easily connect by selecting that, and we have connected the value changed to the Speed Changed method. Well, that's a lot we did with the slider, and now we need to do connections with the text field. So we select text field in the dock. Now we have an outlet at the very top here for a delegate, and that's what we need to do. We need to connect the text field's delegate to settingsviewcontroller. So we click here and drag that to file's owner. And that presents us with a delegate connected into the settingsviewcontroller. We also want to make a new connection from the new referencing outlet of the text field. And we want to drag that up to the file's owner. And we want to choose the text field method. And that connects this text field to the text field method in the settingsviewcontroller. But now we have finally the label. And we select label in the dock, and we want to connect the label to our code. And again, the Connections Inspector shows us our reference outlets. We take a new referencing outlet and connect it to the file's owner. Up pops Slider Display, the method we're looking for. We select Slider Display, and now the label will receive the output in Slider Display and show it. So you can see how the programmer can come along and connect the objects directly to the methods. Or the interface designer, who could have been given a list of the methods, could have done this as well. Now remember, don't forget to save your changes after doing all this work. So choose File, Save. Now we still have to do one more thing, and that is to start up the modal view when the user taps the Info button.